Hello all, welcome to my channel Weight Lectures. Today we will discuss multiple choice questions on animal nutrition. Question number first. In bomb calorimeter, the bomb is charged with the oxygen at pressure of option A 10 to 20 bar, option B 25 to 30 bar, option C 35 to 40 bar, or option D 40 to 45 bar. The right answer is option B, that is 25 to 30 bar. In bomb calorimeter, the bomb is charged with oxygen at atmospheric pressure of 25 to 30 bar, and we know that 1 bar is equal to 1 lakh pascal. Let's see how bomb calorimeters work. Actually, bomb calorimeters is a device which is used to measure the caloric value of sample, which is a feed, and during this process the feed is burned by mean of that electrical energy, and during that burning feed it produces energy, and this heat is transferred to that circulating water of that calorimeter, and during this that specific heat capacity of water is raises, and the benzoic acid was used to measure the heat capacity of that water. In this way that caloric value of that feed is calculated, and the 1 gram of hydrogens give rise to 34.5 kilocal of energy. Question number second. In Van-Sweet's method, the C-tab solution is used to option A to dissolve cellulose, option B to dissolve lignin, option C to dissolve protein, or option D to dissolve carbohydrate. The right answer is option A, that is to dissolve cellulose. In Van-Sweet's method, the C-tab solution, that is cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide solution, actually used to dissolve cellulose. In Van-Sweet's methods is a proximate analysis methods in which that the two type of detergent is using in order to separate the component of feed, like neutral detergents, for example EDTA, and acid detergent, that is cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide. After the treatment of that feed with the neutral detergent solutions, that all easily digested substance cells contents like protein, sugar, lipid get digested, leaving the fibrous residue, which is also known as neutral detergent fiber, and which mainly consists cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. And then this neutral detergent fibers is further treated with acid detergent solutions, which remove that cell wall nitrogens and hemicellulose content. And again, this acid detergent fiber treated with that 73% sulfuric acids give that acid detergents lignin, and in this way that easily digestible materials and non easily digestible materials get separated while performing Van-Sweet's method. Okay, this Van-Sweet's method was proposed in 1967. Similarly, Crampton and Maynard system was proposed in 1968. This Crampton and Maynard systems good helps to partitions the carbohydrate into cellulose and a lignin to component. Okay, and at last that insoluble matter of feed, which is not digested after certain treatment, get ignited at 600 degrees Celsius, and it gives that insoluble ash by removing it from acid detergent lignin. Okay. Question number 3. The chief fatty acid presence in lecithin are palmitic, stearic, arachidonic, and option A linolenic, option B linoleic, option C oleic, or option D luric. The right answer is option C, that is oleic. The chief fatty acid which is present in lecithin are palmitic acid, stearic acid, arachidonic acid, and oleic acid. Similarly, the chief fatty acids which is present in cephalin protein, cephalin is mainly contain stearic acid, oleic fatty acids, linolenic, and arachidonic acids. Questions number 4. If phytosterol are found in plant, then mycosterols are obtained from option A animal, option B bacteria, option C fungi, or option D algae. The right answer is option C, that is fungi. If phytosterols are found in plant, then mycosterols are mainly obtained from fungi. Since phytosterols and both mycosterols have similar structures as like of cholesterol in case of human, and when we given this to that human, it block that the cholesterol from being absorbed, and it's, and it prevent the human from suffering from that heart attack. And similarly, in case of microstrols, not only this, it also possesses the property of like anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial effect also. Question number 5. Carbon in protein is present to the extent of option A 23%, option B 50%, option C 16%, or option D 7%. The right answer is option B, that is 50%. In protein consists 50% carbon, 16% nitrogen, and 23% oxygen. And the type of protein which is mainly present in connective tissue is collagen protein. Similarly, that collagen protein is also present in tendon and arteries. And the protein which is mainly present in ligament, which join bone with bone, is mainly elastin protein. And similarly, the protein which is present in hair, nails, and hoof are keratin protein. And that protamine is the basic protein having very low molecular weight and which is mainly rich in amino acid arginine. Question number 6. Injutic ataxia occur due to deficiency of option A iron, option B copper, option C sulfur, or option D sodium. The right answer is option B, which is copper. Okay, since the deficiency of copper lead to cause injutic ataxia, which is also known as Sobek disease, gingery rickets disease, it is actually that demyelinations of CNS, central nervous systems, lacking their myelin sheet, due to which that so that nervous signs, ataxia signs. Okay, and the deficiency of copper also cause steely wool or string wool, which is actually that losing of crimps in case of wool, which gives is like still like appearance. Okay, and similarly another disease is like coastal disease, which is actually the disease which is seen in sheep due to deficiency of copper and cobalt, and mainly characterized by that debility and hypochromic anemia seen in sheep. Okay, similarly that deficiency of phosphorus lead to cause injutic hemoglobinuria, pica, and sulfur rickets. Deficiency of sodium cause addition disease, and corneal keratinization is also seen in case of deficiency of sodium. Similarly, deficiency of zinc lead to cause parakeratosis and Solon-Hock syndrome, which is mainly seen in poultry, while parakeratosis is mainly seen in pig. And deficiency of manganese mainly cause pyrosis, slip tendon, which is also seen in case of deficiency of choline 2. Similarly, deficiency of cobalt cause injutic marasmus, which is actually that the poor development seen in case of that grazing animal, and also bush sickness. Bush sickness is also that poor development, which is mainly seen in bush city. Therefore, this term is called as bush sickness. Okay, and deficiency of magnesium cause grass tetany, and similarly that in case of excess of potassium, which is also lead to cause grass tetany, and deficiency of iodine lead to cause big neck disease. Similarly, deficiency of selenium lead to cause ill thrift, which is same as like a slower growth rate than expected, which is also known as ill thrifts. Deficiency of iron cause thumb disease. Deficiency of fluorine cause dental caries, while where there is excess of fluorine in body, it's lead to cause fluorosis. And deficiency of calcium cause osteoporosis, osteomalacia, and rickets, while deficiency of NaCl in poultry mainly cause cannibalism. Question number 7. The glycosides toxin which is present in Sudan grass is known as option A dhurin, option B linamarin, option C indole, or option D lactrile. The right answer is option A, which is dhurin. Okay, here are some list of feed along with their toxic substance which is present in that feed. Okay, in case of jawar, Sudan grass, Johnson wheat, the toxic substance which is present is cyanogen, that is dhurin. In case of cassava, chapoica is also known as the toxic substance present in it is linamarin, cyanogen, or lotaustralin, which is also cyanogen. In case of like kernel of almond, apricot, and apple, it mainly contain amygdalin. In case of rice, it's contain selenium, which cause Dagnella disease. In case of groundnut cake, it contains aflatoxin. In case of linseed cake, it contains linamarin and linase, which is also cyanogen. In case of mustard oil cake, it contain isothiocyanates, glucosinolates, which is goitrogenic in nature. In case of cottonseed cake, contain gossypol. Soybean oil cake contain saponin, phytoestrogens, goitrogenic, hemagglutinin, trypsin inhibitors, Bauman bricks and Kunitz. Okay, antivitamin B12 and vitamin A. Similarly, kidney bean contain antivitamin E. Ginsa wheat contain tropane. It got contain indole, and tobacco contain pyridine. Senecio crotalaria heliotropum contain pyrrolizidine. Lupine contain quinolizidine, which is cause crooked calf disease too. Sweet clover, warfarin contain coumarin, which is antivitamin K. Leucaena legumes contain mimosine, goitrogenic factors. Molasses, which is mainly that hay, mainly contain oxalates. Okay, kesari dal contain lacthyrism. Castor beans contain ricin. Clover contain isoflavin. Fusarium contain zearalenone. Okay. Questions number 8. Name the antiforming agents which prevents blood. Option A, blood guard. Option B, polozalin. Option C, mimosine. Option D, lactin. The right answer is option B, that is polozalin. Antiformic agents, which prevents blood, is that polozalin. If we see that blood, there's two type of blood we see, that is gaseous bloods and form blood. Since gaseous blood can be treated by that by mean of that forming that rumen fistula by mean of using trocar and cannula, which provide that short-term relief for gaseous blood. But in case of that frothy blood, that anti-forming agents such as like linseed oil, turpentine, which is oil type of drug is used. But nowadays dimethicone or polazolin, newer drugs which is mainly used to disperse that form. It is given by mean of use of stomach tube. Since that polozolin is that copolymer of polyethylene and polypropylene ether glycol, which is non-ionic surface active agents and mainly used as a fecal softener and a blood preventer. Question number 9. Dullness, stiffness of the joint, loss of hair, necrosis of tissue on extremities of ear and tail, loss of hair on hoof and tail, deformities are the toxic symptoms of option A, fluorine, option B, oxalate, option C, molybdenum, or option D, selenium. The right answer is option D, which is selenium. Okay, dullness, stiffness of the joint, loss of hair, necrosis of the tissue on extremities of the ear and tail, loss of hair on that tail and hoof, deformities actually are that toxic symptoms of seleniums. Since selenium replaces that sulfur in amino acids such as like cysteine and methionine, which results in that synthesis of abnormal structural and enzyme protein, and which lead to cause that hoof and hair defect. Similarly, in case of that fluorine toxicity, which is also known as fluorosis, we see that the lesion develop in that developing dentitions and skeletons, and also it may cause lameness. Similarly, that symptoms of oxalate toxicity mainly cause like the muscle tremor, tetany, and then weakness, and animals feel reluctance to move, depressions, recumbency, which is the actual the sign of that lack of calcium, that is hypocalcemia. Since oxalate combined with calcium forming that calcium oxalate, which is lead to cause the hypocalcemia in animal, so such type of signs are produces. And similarly, symptoms of molybdenum toxicity includes chronic greenish type diarrhea, poor productions, and lameness. Question number 10. Pusa giant, Napier grass, and paddy straw contain the metal binding substance called option A, phosphate, option B, sulfate, option C, oxalate, or option D, carbonate? The right answer is option C, which is oxalate. Pusa giant Napier grass is that just common name of Napier grass. It also known as elephant grass too. And that paddy straw is mainly contain that metal binding anti-nutritional factor, which is oxalate, which actually bind with that calcium and lead to cause the deficiency of calcium in animal by forming that calcium oxalate. Question number 11. Phosphatidyl choline is which of the following? Option A, lecithin. Option B, sphingomyelin. Option C, cephalin. Or option D, none. The right answer is option A, that is lecithin. Phosphatidyl choline is lecithin. Sphingomyelin is sphingolipid that actually cover that cell membrane, especially myelin sheath, is mainly consist phosphocholine and ceramide or a phosphoethanamide group. While lecithin is a mixture of glycerophospholipid, which is mainly include phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, phosphatidyl inositol, phosphatidylserine, and phosphatidic acid, while cephalin is phosphatidylethanolamine. Question number 12. The daily dry feed requirement of lactating goat of around 50 kg body weight are option A 3 to 3.5% of body weight, option B 3.5 to 4% of body weight, option C 2 to 2.5% of body weight, or option D 5 to 7% of body weight. The right answer is option D, that is 5 to 7% of body weight. Since that goat is also that the only domestic animal which utilize that highest percent of a dry matter too, which is 5 to 7% of their body weight, and the daily dry feed requirement of milk, that is lactating goat, is 5 to 7% of their body weight, while the daily dry feed requirement of meat goat is 3 to 4% of their body weight. The daily dry feed requirement of a breeding buck is 3 to 3.5% of their body weight. And since that the factor which largely affect the dry matter intake of feed in case of goat is that only that palatability of the ration. As much the ration is palatable to that goat, the consumption is also high. To make that rations bulky in case of that starter kit, mainly that rice bran should be added. Question number 13. How many trace minerals are considered essential for ship on the basis of available experimental evidence? Option A 7, option B 8, option C 9, option D 12. The right answer is 9. The number of trace minerals considered essential for ship on the basis of available experimental evidence is 9, and the factor which is mainly causing the deficiency of energy supply to ship are as follow. Either that there is a lack of feed due to the drought or snow condition, or that over mature there is a feeding of that over matured pasture. And a ship which is weighing around 30 kg would require 400 gram total digestible nutrient per day, and insufficient protein intake by ship result in reduced appetite, poor feed efficiency, anemia, and there's a first limiting amino acids for ship is methionine, and for that the better utilization of urea in case of EU, the optimum nitrogens and sulfur ratio should be 10:1. Question number 14. An instrument which is through which that the gross energy of a feedstuff is determined is option A calorimeter, option B calorimeter, option C thermometer, or option D none. The right answer is option B, that is calorimeter. The instrument which is used to measure the gross energy of feedstuff is calorimeter, and that calorimeter is actually measure that the heat which is produced during that burning of that feedstuffs. Question number 15. Depending on the age and species concerned, the total dry matter consumed is used for energy regulating body temperature, for maintaining the vital function of growth, activity, respiration, and production is option A 70 to 85%, option B 10 to 20%, option C 50 to 60%, or option D none. The right answer is option A, that is 70 to 85%. Depending on the age and species concerned, the total dry matter consumed is used for energy that regulating body temperature, for maintaining the vital function of a growth activities, respirations, production is 70 to 85%. Okay, since if we see that the energy, the gross energy is that total energy. If we minus that the gross fecal energy from that gross energy, what we get is that digestible energy. If we minus the energy which is lost during that urine and methane production, then we get metabolizable energy. And if we minus that metabolizable energy, if we minus that the energy which is used for that maintaining the heat increment in the body, then we get the actually the net efficient level of energy, and which is mainly used for that retain energy, as well as for the energy which is used for work and for that body maintenance growth, that is known as that uh, net energy. Okay, and let's see that apparent digestible energy is gross energy intake minus fecal energy, that gives apparent digestible energy. In cattle and sheep, the fecal energy losses in case of roughages and concentrate are 40 to 50% while feeding that roughages, and that fecal energy losses while feeding concentrate is 20 to 30%. Similarly, the loss of energy in urine in case of pig and cattle in relation to the gross energy intake is 2 to 3% energy is lost while in urine in case of pig, and 4 to 5% loss in urine in case of cattle. The percentage of gross energy lost as methane productions varies from that 6.42 to 9.83 percentage. Question number 16. The voluntary intake of protein is dash than that of maize. Option A more, option B less, option C equal, or option D none. The right answer is option A, that is more. The voluntary intake of protein is more than that of maize. The question number 17. The richness of fat in cream during separation is regulated by option A cream screw, option B bomb calorimeter, option C urinometer, option D centrifuge machine. The right answer is option A, that is cream screw. The richness of that fat in the cream during that cream separation is actually regulated by that cream screw, which is a part of the cream separator machine. In cream separator machine, this mainly consists two type of outlet. One outlet for that cream and another outlet for that skim milk. So to that to handle this cream separator unit, a screw arrangement is provided on a cream line at just at the level of that outlet point, and this screw helps to manipulate the flow rate of that cream. And another factor which also affect the cream richness of fat percentage in cream, that is the speed of that bowl. Higher the speed of that bowl, the higher will be the fat percentage in cream. The higher the speed of the bowl leads to that the greater will be the centrifugal force, and more rapidly the skim milk leave bowl with a higher fat percent in cream. Okay, actually the fat is present in milk in a emulsion form, and the average size of the fat in that cow milk is 10 to 12 micron. And while after homogenization break down the fat into a small droplet, and then the size of the fat will be less than 4 micron, which is 2 to 4 micron range. Question number 18. uh, Crops are not good for silage making. Option A carbohydrate rich crops, option B leguminous crops, option C cereals, or options D all. The right answer is option B, that is leguminous crops. Leguminous crops are not good for that silage making. Actually, that for that silage making, feed should be rich in carbohydrate, that is sugar, which is mainly essential for that fermentation process, and should have moisture content 60 to 65%. And hay less is that low moisture containing silage, which contain moistures around 40 to 45%. And while that hay, um, in hay contain moistures around 15 to 20%. Question number 19. Protein have about dash percentage of nitrogen. Option A 6% of nitrogen. Option B 16% of nitrogen. Option C 8% of nitrogen. Or option D 23% of nitrogen. The right answer is option B, that is 16% of nitrogen. Protein have about 16% of nitrogen. 1 gram of nitrogen is actually present in 6.25 gram of crude protein. Okay, so normally conversion factor for that feed is 6.25. So by multiplying the nitrogen content of feed by 6.25, it gives that protein content in that feed. But in case of that milk, the conversion factor is 6.38 and conversion factors for cottonseed is 5.30. Question number 20. ACP stand for option A, acyl carbonyl phosphate, option B, adenosine carbonyl phosphate, option C, adenosine carbon phosphate, or option D, acyl carrier protein. The right answer is option D, which is acyl carrier protein. Acyl carrier protein actually transport the growing fatty acid chains between enzymes domain of fatty acid synthesis during that fatty acid synthesis process. Okay, while that AFMA, which is stand for that American Food Manufacturers Associations. Okay. Question number 21. Water contained in the calf at the time of birth is option A 50 to 60%, option B 60 to 70%, option C 70 to 80%, or option D 80 to 90%. The right answer is option C, which is 70 to 80%. The water content which is present in calf at the time of birth is 70 to 80%, while the water content which is present in embryo is 95%, and that water which is available to that domestic animal after that oxidative reactions, that is oxidative source, is 5 to 10%. Question number 22. Ether extract in solvent extracted cake is option A 0.5 to 1%, option B 2 to 3%, option C 8 to 10%, or option D more than 10%. The right answer is option A, which is 0.5 to 1%. Ether extract, which is that is ether extract, that is those feed which is soluble in ethers comes in ether extract, which is present in solvent extracted cake is 0.5 to 1%. Normally in solvent extracted process, almost extracted all that oils and leaving behind only about 0.5 to 0.7 percentage residuals oil in that raw material. So the right answer is A 0.5 to 1%. Question number 23. Sweetest of all sugar is option A fructose, option B mannose, option C glucose, or option D galactose. The right answer is option A, that is fructose. The sweetest sugar is fructose. This fructose is that monosaccharides which has the sweetness level of 1.17 to 1.75, while that second sweetest is that glucose, which is also monosaccharide with a sweetness level of 0.74 to 0.8, while lactose is disaccharide with a sweetness level of 0.16. Similarly, disaccharides which is present in fungi and seaweeds is trehalose, and while on hydrolysis of starch we it mainly gives glucose and dextrine. Question number 24. Methionine may be replaced in part by option A arginine, option B collagen, option C valine, option D phenylalanine. The right answer is option B, that is collagen. Methionine may be replaced in parts by collagen, since collagen is main protein which is mainly present in connective tissue. Elastin is a protein which is mainly found in elastic fibers, elastic tissue, while keratin is a protein which is mainly present in hair, hoof, and nail. Okay. Question number 25. If glucose is oxidized in the formation of ATP, the efficiency of free energy capture is only about option A 48%, option B 58%, option C 68%, option D none. The right answer is option C, that is 68%. During glycolysis process, that glucose actually react with that oxygens and to release free energy, and this free energy is captured by body in term of that by converting, by forming ATP from that ADP, by adding inorganic phosphates, and the efficiency of that capturing this free energy in case of glycolysis is only 68%, while in case of beta oxidation process the efficiency of that capturing free energy is only 65%. Okay, this much for today. Thank you.